All right. Hello, everyone. Jeff Gora, Artist Waves here. Happy Wednesday. Live at 5. Hope everyone's doing well. Another live interview today. These have been so much fun. I wish it was under better circumstances, but if anything, this transition, this pivot, has allowed for some pretty fun, creative outlets like this. So, really excited about today's guest again. It's Citizen Cope, aka Clarence Greenwood, or maybe a Clarence Greenwood, aka Citizen Cope. Hello, everyone joining. I see NJKG24, Jules, Naomi, Fred Estioder. How y'all doing? Citizen Cope. I see Jakey Boy. I see Lily Rainbow. I see Maddie Dukes. Hello, everybody. So in the background right now, I have a new song by Citizen Cope, which is called Scared of Heights. He just put it out. I don't know if you could hear it. Yesterday I had it a little too loud. Maybe today it's a little too low. I should be somewhere in between. Citizen Cope. Citizen Cope's the man. I've gotten a few opportunities to meet him, to interview him, and we've established a nice little friendly relationship over the years. And hi Memphis. I think Citizen Cope was born in Memphis. Actually, I was watching a video of Danny Clinch, and he was saying a story behind one of Cope's promo shots, and he took him to Memphis, not knowing that that's where he was born. So, hi from Memphis. So I first interviewed Cope maybe, 2015 or 16, something like that. And it was in the back of his tour bus. He was doing a solo acoustic tour, playing really nice theaters. And at the end of the interview, we kind of wrapped up the questions, had a really fun, nice chat. At the end of the interview, his daughter FaceTimed him. So we didn't get a chance to shake hands, say thank you, all that stuff. His daughter FaceTimed him. He picked up his phone, and he was 100% tuned in to his daughter and his daughter only. I think he had been away from her or away from his family for a month or two. And man, we were supposed to do photos and stuff, and I was like, I respect that. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of your way. This is your time for you and your little girl to talk to dad. And he was in total dad mode, and it was awesome. And ever since that conversation, since that initial conversation, we kind of had this unspoken newfound respect for each other, and had some conversations about being a dad and music and stuff like that. So it was kind of a cool way to meet. And I last saw him last summer at the Levitate backyard, where he played again by himself, which is one of the cool things about his music. I'm going to play that song again because it's a good song and I like it. And I think he plays ukulele. Anyway, now I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, Citizen Cope. His music is kind of that even planed, even keeled. You could play by yourself. You could play in a big theater, and it stays the same. Kind of like a Tom Petty vibe. I see Cope is in the room. I'm gonna get him in. Maybe towards the end we'll take a few questions, and we'll have a fun conversation. So let's talk to Citizen Cope.
Okay, sure.
Yo,
Citizen Cope.
what's up,
Hey
Jeff?
man, how are you?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good, man. Just everybody dealing with the same shit everyone else is right now.
Yeah, I hear ya. We were just we were telling a few stories about your music. Listen to Scared of Heights before
Cool.
you jumped in.
Well, I'm glad you were. So sorry I'm late. I was taking my daughter on a little run, and everything is good.
Nice. You're not late. No, you're right on time, man.
All right, cool.
So how are you, dude? How you doing? How's life in your quarantine world?
Man, everything has been good, man. I've just been, I think it's like I'm just using it as a time not to, kind of lull over or bum out over like what could be, because I had so many great shows planned this month, and Red Rocks was sold out for the first time of that I've done it with a headline as a headliner. Mm, such a big, like, something I've been wanting to do for 10 years, 15 years, and it's like, and I had some really great shows going up, this month or doing this month, and also I had been developing this television show where I'm going to small businesses, where the places I go, it's called Coolin' with Cope, and I go into a distillery or a secondhand shop or a bar or something like that. It's mom and pop places strictly, independent, kind of like pushing the independent spirit, and non corporate type places, restaurants and stuff like that, and kind of get an idea what the culture and the pulse of that particular city is, without the kind of touristy vibe. And so that was going really well. So it just kind of like jumped in on that, and continued to, you know, excuse me, sex. Hey guys, I'm on an IG live. Shh. Thank
Come
you.
on in.
All right, um, so just kind of like that, and so I came back and said, you know what, I'm not, I'm gonna put my head in a better place and be like, I'm not gonna, you know, be upset about what I've lost, and just realize what you can gain out of this. And there's obviously some silver lining going on, and got to figure out what it is, because everything, and what it is what it is, and we have to learn from it, hopefully. And so I've been doing these live streams, and I've done a bunch of free kind of Instagram and Facebook stuff, but then I upped it to where like real professional audio and then professional video, and so that you don't have the glitches digitally, and also it's kind of like a more, it's a great performance, and it doesn't have a time limit and all these other things. So I've been just done 5 of those so far, where they're kind of paid shows, and I'm starting to develop that company out, and hopefully we'll bring some other artists.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I've checked out a whole bunch of your stuff. I know you jumped right in, and you've been pretty busy. But you know what's funny? I got to tell you. Well, first of all, hi everyone who's joined. I've seen a lot of people have come in and sent some nice waves and comments. Nicole Alvarez, K Rock, LA, hello. Conqueso, Dirty Heat, what's up, everybody? I got to tell you, you are the one who inspired me to start doing these Instagram live interviews, uh,
Okay.
single-handedly, because I was following everything you were doing, and then I saw you and Kelly Slater, I think, do the first one a few weeks ago.
Right. Right.
And I didn't even really know that you could do this. I didn't know it was an option. And then I started following how you were doing them, and you had, Danny Amendola and
Yeah.
Misty and a couple other people, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's
Yeah.
a cool way to engage and connect, and to kind of do something new. So before, I should make sure I tell you that you single-handedly inspired the Artist Wave
All
series.
right. Great. Great. I'm glad I did. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I can ask you too, with the series that you just completed. Like, so you just mentioned you did 3-day. I know you did 3-day live paid thing where people were basically buying a virtual ticket to see
Yeah.
a professional show of yours. I know you mixed up 3 different days, 3 different types of sets.
Yeah.
What was that like? I didn't get a chance to tune into all of them. What was it like in terms of your expectations? Did you enjoy it? Was it a good
Man, it
show?
was just like at the end of the day, I got there emotionally, um, different ways every night. It was like almost like doing a real show. And so there were like definitely like highlights. There were definitely points that I felt like were real, like, authentic moments that I was able to get to. Sometimes playing this quiet acoustic show, you might have 10 people out of, 1,000 in a room that are sitting there talking in the corner, and that could mess up something for everybody. So they didn't really have that interruption. And
Yeah.
also, I was able to capture it on photo, and it's still available now for the next 4 days. Anybody wants to pick up one of the sessions or all three. I'm going to do a birthday thing as well. And it also back to the IG Live thing where I interviewed, Misty Copeland and Danny Amendola and Kelly Slater. That was just about having a conversation with people, kind of like part of the Cooling with Cope is kind of, you know, getting around people with that who have kind of overcome adversity and challenges throughout their life. And I think it was good to, during this time, to see what it's like. Because, like, even with Amendola, who's a professional football player and he's won a national title and in the NFL and Super Bowl championship, but he's been injured,
Yeah.
where he's so unsure of, like, and I kind of like have an analogy of, like, this is like being a pro athlete and being injured where you don't know what next is going to happen. And, just talking to some people that have overcome some stuff, and everyone in the world has overcome odds and everything, but it's kind of great to hear people talk about it and be reinforced about it in the context of a IG so that people can kind of get that vibe.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I love that Danny told a story about the Cowboys. People forget that he did not have an easy path. He got cut. He was not supposed to be where he is. So I
Yeah.
noticed that. I appreciated that. But I was curious too, and I know even like whether it was college football and some coaches and stuff, and even Julian Edelman, your music seems to really pair well with sports, and like it's created this kind of cool dynamic between you and sports. How do you feel like that has happened? And do you enjoy that? I mean, it's a really cool pairing.
Well, I mean, I really wanted to be, when I was really young, like every other kid that plays football or basketball or baseball in the street recreationally. Um, I thought I was going to be a professional athlete. So, so
Still time.
when but I was very small. I didn't grow, hit my growth spurt until my high school year, and so it it was something that I just really always was a sports fan, and I always kind of like looked at the analogy between artists and athletes because at the end of the day, we're both kind of quote the talent, and there's a lot of people around us making money, and we're the ones that are actually sacrificing our personal life, our personal well-being, our health, while other people kind of make money off of that and grow their businesses. And I think it's just kind of a gladiator spirit, whether you're an artist or, and when I say artist, I can mean a chef to a florist to a songwriter to a writer to a painter, athletes as well. Like, what Misty Copeland does is art. It's not just, what she does as a dancer, as an athlete. It's what she does artistically, and I think a lot of artists, a lot of athletes are artists. They're able to adapt to the situation, and all they're using the physical being that they have to prepare themselves like an artist, and in order to uh, go on to the next level, and also be very mentally strong. Be used to failure because failure is part of all this whole thing. And once you realize that you can't be, let down by failing, and that their failures, most failures are actual victories if you learn from them. So I think that I was just lucky because I mean once I found out, oh, football player are into it or a baseball player goes up to bat using my song, and it's just like that's like that was just like full circle to me. Like Daniel Norris, recently came and brought me a jersey, professional baseball player, just like grew up listening to my music, and I just like, man, that's just like full circle. And that tends to happen in life when you put something out there that you really, are inspired by, somehow people that inspired you, or things that inspired you kind of come around.
Yeah. I agree. I totally subscribe to that and have experienced some of it myself. Somebody commented that they're glad that your professional athletic career never took off, so now we have we have your
Yeah.
music. So that's
Yeah.
a fair point.
I was joking around with Alice's uncle one day, and he was like, "Hey, what's going on?" I was calling him on a Sunday, and I said, "I'm just a little melancholy today." He says, "Why?" I was like, "Well, it's Sunday. Pro football's going on. I probably could be retired right now up in the booth, but I went after my dreams. I could be in the Hall of Fame by now." I was just joking.
Hey, you never know. There's still time, right? I mean,
Oh, it's no time for that, and no skill set, and I'm too slow.
well, you got a guitar. That's better than
Yeah,
nothing.
exactly. I can, I
Um,
can, I can still play on Sundays at the stadium.
that's right. That's
Not,
true.
not physically have to risk myself.
That's even better.
Yeah.
That's right. Awesome. So I got to ask you too. I've been curious about because you've been so engaged and you've been doing so many cool things. Whether it's some of the things you mentioned, the cooling with Cope, even the cooking stuff, but like really engaging and trying new things and getting out there creatively. The last time we spoke was, or we did a formal interview, I should say, was right before Heroin and Helicopters came out.
Right.
I'm curious, the the promotion and the stuff you do around a new album now, I imagine it's really different than what the stuff you would do around the album before, like One Lovely Day. Like the world is so different with all this Instagram and social media and like some of the stuff you've done. Have you enjoyed what comes with putting out new music and engaging with fans in the current climate versus maybe how it was with older records?
I do, because it's something you can do, but I mean, it's just finding out what you like to do. So it's
Yeah,
different for everybody else. Like some people have like a great body, they can, just take a picture of their abs, and some people can show themselves, but it's like, what is your strong point? What do you how can you actually put out something that is going to be um, out there? Back in the day, you have to rely on, but back in the day, you would have to rely on a radio station, or a interview, or something like that. And now you can really say, okay, all that stuff's not coming to me because I'm not a mainstream artist. So how do I still get the how do I still fulfill the people that want to know who I am? And that's part of that is getting out of my shell,
yeah,
which was very difficult for me to even talk during shows for a long time because I had bad stage fright. So I realized also the interviews aren't really great. Like me and you had a great interview. You knew the music. You were a fan of the music. That's few and far between. So it's like I can get on something like this and have a long conversation, and it not be like, hey, well, where'd the name Citizen Cope come from? And how is Heroin Helicopters different from your other records? I mean, there's so many things. It got to the point where people were basically like reading off of my Wikipedia page, also a lot of times fake things that weren't really accurate, and asking me Wikipedia. It'd be I call them Wikipedia interviews. And it just like, that does me no good. Like if I
yeah,
talk to you and you ask me 3 questions or 5 questions and then we're done, like it doesn't matter if it's the New York Times, and the New York Times ain't writing about me. So it's like, how do you get in a situation where you can actually talk for somebody for an hour? Maybe you don't reach 25 million people, but those people, those 25 people, or 1,000 people, or 2,000 people, are going to be like, oh shit, I got something from that. And then
yeah.
I got a different side of him, and I got a different thing from him. So it's like more enjoyable to me to have that conversation, and it's more enjoyable for the people to hear that than reading some like article that they've read, you know, everything about you because they've already read it 10 times in every article. And you know, basically that's what journalism is now. And I think now you have an opportunity to like build it up. You know, see when I'm out on the tour and I'm going to a restaurant that I like, oh shit, that's a cool place. Talk to the chef, talk to this person. That somebody might check it out themselves. Somebody might just want to see what you're doing during the day that's not about the show.
Yeah, I've loved that, and I'm so glad I don't fit into that interview Wikipedia category. I got nervous for a second.
No, I mean, you've
I'm
always
just
had,
kidding.
yeah, you've always had like really good. We've always had really good interviews. I mean, it's not, but that I'm honestly, that's like out of the thousands I've done over the years, there's like handfuls of things that have really been great. I mean, and I was, you know, it's like, and it's unfortunate because I'm a student of journalism. I love a great article about an artist or a writer or something like that. And they just, it's not allowed in print anymore. And it's not really, so I mean, I think this forum is so much deeper. I think it started maybe with TED Talks and then it got more into like podcasts and all that kind of stuff where you can actually get deep into something.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's, I think that's what comes with the ripple effect of your music and the greater community that has come with it. The Copeheads and everything else, all of the other people that have sincerely followed your music for a while, and new fans from the last wave.
Right.
I mean, that's what we do. We're the point of like Artist Waves and our conversation would be to really illuminate the inspiration and the ripple effect of what's happening with your music and what goes into it, the sincerity and genuine authenticity. So, and I think some of the things that you're doing are just an extension of that. Like, Coolin' with Cope shows are so cool, especially because of like what you said. You're focusing on those like mom and pop, like really roots, grassroots type of places. I love the whiskey place. I love that girl in Virginia or
Yeah.
Virginia or Tennessee that like was just started a blog.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
great for years.
Yeah. Chattanooga. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. But how did the whole series or the idea of Coolin' with Cope come to be? And did it take you a while to put that together?
No, I mean, I was like, what's going to be cool? Like, what do I do? I go out to these places. I don't go to corporate restaurants. I try not to stay in corporate hotels. I try not to go, obviously, no fast food or anything like that. I'm an independent artist. I want to support independent people. I want to support somebody who has the balls to go out there. It's like, I'm going to open my own place or I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it myself. And I'm not going to, you know, and I just like, I love that. You know, I
Yeah.
love seeing people go after their dreams because I'm doing it and I'm not like, I'm still hanging on. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm taught, you're not where you should be. You know how many times people say, "Oh, you should be a bigger star. You should just like that mess goes in your head, and it's like, oh, you could be this or be that. Like, and I love just going to these restaurants because I'm not going to be able to get that Huevos Rancheros on the side of the road in friggin' Arizona. You know, it's $3 and it's amazing. And I'm like, where the heck, where is this place? I lost that one place. I don't want to lose that again. I want to go where I'm going, bring the camera. If I'm walking around the gig and there's a place here or there or a barbershop or something like that, I want to, you know, that's the thread of what America is. And it's turned into something of like corporate, you know, and everything corporate. And it's like, no, let's go to these places and show what's going on. There's a lot of style because that little thing is going to be mainstream one day. That's what's small is going to be mainstream pretty soon. Like the boutique hotel that was started by that one woman in Chattanooga, somebody's gonna go after that and try to make that uh, 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 that's going to be what's cool pretty soon. Every room designed differently and a cool bar downstairs that are making cool cocktails. Like that's going to people putting that much love into what they do.
Yeah.
and finding that she found the right person that's doing the breakfast that did a pop-up, and then she brought her in to do the breakfast at the hotel. And it's like, it's like the synergy between people that really care about what they do and that like they love what they do. It comes in when you eat that pancake, it's coming out of love. When you go into that room, it's coming out of love. So it's like, you know for us to be able to say, all right, man, that I'm gonna go to that place. And so that's really what shows the real pulse and the real thread of what the community is, more so. So I was inspired by that because I'm gonna go there anyway. So let's go, let's bring some cameras, let's see it up, and
Yeah.
it just ended up, we just got really lucky with that one guy. He was a ninth, seventh generation moonshiner. You
Yeah.
know, now it's legal to have a distillery, and he started a distillery. He's a great character, and we found this guy just by going to this place, and he was like a great. It was amazing that he was on the show. So it was like, so you find some, and we found a great bread and breakfast, and we found this kind of thing that all is like really cool shit. So I don't care if it, you know, makes any money or anything. That's just my day. And I wanted people to see that day outside of that. And I can't give, I do a meet and greet or a VIP. I started doing where I cooked the whole a sandwich for people. Copanini. It's like a hot copanini sandwich, but I call it a copanini. And I thought that was so much cooler than doing the regular VIP where I just come in, you come and shake my hand. Because that's usually set up by outside VIP promotions, and then you have to do it yourself. And then this way, it's like, all right, there's a real conversation going on. And,
Yeah.
there's just not enough of that anymore.
Well, it's awesome you're leading by example like that. I love this stuff. I love those Cooling and with Cope and the Quarantine with Cope episodes.
Yeah.
I hope they continue. I had a couple places lined up for you for New England, some coastal stuff.
Oh, man, I would have been good. And that's another thing. I always love to hear people's opinions. Like, oh, check this place out. Like, the woman that does the blog, Isha, she's the one that told me about I knew her since she was sneaking into Cope shows in Boston.
Oh,
And
really?
like,
Cool.
then I saw her thing online, or she had texted me or DM'd me or something, or somehow I saw it and I was like, wow, she's got all these followers. She started this whole blog about women's blog. And when I was coming into it, then I was like, um, what's hip? And she's like, this hotel, it's amazing. Went to go hotel, then that led to the restaurant and the bar, and then it's like, wow, you got the venue, the restaurant, the bar, her, you know, the hotel, it's just like all this cool stuff that like only people in that town know about. You're not going to read that about in on online or anything.
Yeah. And I think it's also relative to your music and your approach because that's basically how you've gone about in creating your art. And I think the stuff we were talking about or mentioned earlier, the people that do it for the wrong reasons, they're in and they're out. They're not doing some of the things that you're doing and having this kind of long withstanding career of reaching people and engaging and having this inspiring music. So
Yeah, it's just about innovation too. It's like you
yeah.
got to realize like everything that worked before is not going to work. I've been through this when three major changes have happened. Actually five now. When I first started out, it started with the corporate. The corporate started buying up all the record companies, so it was possible to get a deal. But then it was like, they were just signing a bunch of people hoping that something would do well, so and then I got dropped and I had to come back and find another deal. That was difficult, because a lot of people got signed one time, did a record, it never came out, you never heard from them again. A lot of people did one record, even had a hit, and you never heard from them again. So it was like, you have to figure out how do you make yourself indispensable. And
Yeah.
then the Napster thing came, and it's like everyone's getting free music. That's going to change the dynamic of everything. And then Steve Jobs came along and devalued the music by taking any song you wanted and having it a single, even if it wasn't a single on your record, even if the label didn't spend $1 million trying to break it at radio, somebody be like, I want that song, and put it on there and buy your one song when you made an album that was supposed to be meant to listen to from start to finish artistically. So it's cherry picking that way. That was devalued. The labels just got outsmarted. They were just, most of them are not very smart, or very savvy, or business. And they got beat to the punch. And then because they were used to just basically ripping off 20-year-old kids, they come with a 20-year-old kid. He probably didn't come from much money. He probably has a bad relationship with either his mother or father, or had some trauma in his life. The only thing he knows how to do is write a song and express that for himself. And when I say trauma, it's what he thinks his trauma is. And, all of us have certain levels of some trauma. It's just like how we relate to it. And being 21, 22, a lot of that's coming back up. Oh, man, I'm just realizing that, this really affected me, or this, I got this happen, and it might just come back to you. And we're all different in how we react to those things. Sometimes artists have been in situations, they want to go write a song, and that helps them. And somebody says, hey, I love this. This is great. Do you want $100,000? I'll give you another 100 to make a record. You're 21 years old. You're like, yeah. And then they sign you for your life. So they're used, the labels, and then the label make $10 million off this guy, and it's like, he's got 500,000. He's still got his problems where now he's out on the road, he's famous, and now it's going to even get worse.
Yeah.
So then the substance abuse comes on, and then all the other things come on with that. So it's like, labels were used to dealing with those people. Steve Jobs came into the room, they got taken. It's like, I remember one of the heads one time says, they're just smarter than us, Clarence. And I was just like, no, they're not. You're actually just stupid.
Yeah, I agree completely. And it's, and music like yours has sustained and surfed it all. So it's really cool to hear your perspective, because and what you've gone through and overcome and pushed through and done it your way, man. Done it your way. Yeah, there's been some cool comments about raising your hands about how certain songs of yours affect people here, whether it's rolling the windows down to let the drummer kick, or your headphones and eyes closed, headphones on, eyes closed to sideways. Really cool dialogue happening while we're talking. If it's cool with you, if anyone wants to send in a question in the comments, maybe we could pick a few out if we have a minute here.
It said, raise your hand if Carol Baskin killed her husband. Yeah. Right. That's a psychopath right there, to go do that and then go on a TV show. It's like, no, you don't go on a television show. Even if she wouldn't. And it's crazy. Joe Exotic is always wanted that fame, and now he's got it, but he's in jail.
Yeah, for all the wrong reasons. Crazy, wild, and we all know what that was about when you wrote that comment. So somehow, they're doing something right. So if anyone has a question, send it in, and I'll start off with one other thing that I was curious about the new song we were just listening to, "Scared of Heights." I'm really digging that song. It's really different, and I was wondering, is that a ukulele that you're playing?
It's called a guitar. It's called a guitar-o-lele. It's essentially a ukulele, but it's got 6 strings. So,
okay. And is that like a brand new song, or is it something you've had with you for a while? When did you?
It's a new song. I was on the road, and Chris Bars, who worked on the record with me, had brought that, and I just started strumming on it. And I kind of like did it in a different version, and then I just kind of came up with that. And it's just a feel-good song. I kind of wanted to deal with, been dealing with some things that I wanted to overcome personally, and realizing that what was holding me back was fear. and I've always not tried to operate in fear. And but sometimes I was like, okay, well, you know, life is being motivated by fear right now, and any kind of, I'm not going to fall to that, and it's just like sometimes we fear what we need to be doing, and it's like, oh, it's song really deals with overcoming fear, and just love the analogy of like learning to fly when you're scared of heights. It's like, how do you fly if you're scared of heights when you're supposed to be flying? And I think that, how do you learn how to ride a bike when you're scared of falling? How do you learn how to go after a dream when you're scared of failing? It's like if you're concentrating on that failure or that kind of thing, when if you're concentrating on your fear, it's not going to do it. So you got to learn to like not concentrate on what that fear is, concentrate on what you're trying to achieve.
It's a really unique and profound perspective, and it's really relevant to right now. I'm sure it's helping a lot of people. So I was really stoked to hear that song and to hear the message that you had in there. I hadn't heard it before. I
Yeah,
don't think I agree. I mean, I don't think anyone that's achieved a dream did not fail at some point. So
yeah.
you you're illuminating that, which is really cool. There was a message that came in that I think is relevant. A question that came in that I think is relevant to this topic, which is anything during this kind of crazy time right now inspiring you to write at home?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's inspiring me right now is really not falling a victim to the fact that, okay, what could have been. You know what I'm saying? It's like that the thing is like, people, the fact is like, I could be sitting here and be like, oh, I just lost this whole tour, the biggest show that I had. This was supposed to be great. I was going to take that and take a year off with my daughter and go traveling. That was, take her out of school. I had like set up like 2 years of setups for this actual, month and a half of touring. And, um, and it's just like, I think the whole thing is just trying to mold your perspective at this point. And that was like, that's, that's been, you know, I haven't really been inspired to say write something. By doing these shows, I'm learning something by performing and really getting into it. Those things are helping. Uh, I haven't written anything necessarily profound. I've been trying to just stay in a frame of like, wow, there is a possibility right here. This is a huge opportunity right now, even despite the whole thing, my whole like what my existence is, which is and livelihood, which is playing music, is completely shattered for the next 2 years. Because you don't make money on any, you can't make a livelihood on streams and all this kind of stuff. And that's another thing. It's like at the end of the day, if you're broke, you're broke. That's gonna happen. That's what it is. And it's like that's not the worst thing in the world that can happen to you. That's probably one of the things that the universe is teaching us right now, is we've been putting too much on. All right, how much money do I have, or how can I afford to do this, and it's like, you know, motivated by that, which isn't like, it's really, and when I started, I got motivated by doing something that like touched people, genuinely touch people, and I want people to hear my music and the music to have a legacy and help them out. And it's this shit
Yeah.
ain't about me. It's not about anything, anybody on this thing that was inspired by anything. It's not about. It's not for you. That's for somebody else. When you take care of your child, or you're you have the love in your heart to walk an old lady across the street, or hand somebody some money, even if you know that they're gonna go use it on drugs or something like that, because that's not your decision. It's like, all right, that person, and we just have to learn, like, we've been hoodwinked by this society. And if it's all of us being in a situation, if it takes more people to have to settle down and realize that all these things all these addictions to our devices, all our social media shit, all this yelling at each other, realizing, talking bad about each other because this person votes for this person, and trying to really think that it's about a political thing that's going on when it's really not. And there's nothing we can do about it as somebody, but like politicians don't have the power above us. And it's like we're operating on such a low level, on such a low frequency right now. We've let um, take that power from us. We don't have a cure for cancer. We got grandmothers sick right now with cancer, sisters, daughters, children that died of that. The cancer shouldn't exist anymore. Like
Yeah.
we can't even get, a good education system going. Like that's like I genuinely think we have failed. Growing up in a school system that was not good. Like I look back in my life and be like, wow, that is something that we all knew, that we're getting old books. The schools are run down. There's lead in the water fountains. The teachers aren't being paid properly, and it's 30 years later and the same shit's happening. It's like that's not possible, man. That should not be possible. Like we should have figured that shit out. Teachers should be making money. Administrators should be making money. We should figure out how to teach the kid that has ADD so that he can one day be the Albert Einstein that he needs to be. Because we're just teaching one faction of people that can take a test, and we're not taking care of them. It's like that's unacceptable, and it's like we're so far apart because we have racial division, we have cultural division, we have religious division, we have economic division. We have, oh, I don't like the way they're wearing their hair division. So we're divided so much that we're not realizing, well, shit, all of us got somebody in our family or close friend that's um, sick, or all of us got somebody addicted to a substance, or all of us have somebody that's like a car accident doesn't care if you're Republican or Democrat or black or white. And the thing is that what we've done right now is try to divide ourselves into, oh, I'm protected by this. I can live in this gated community, and I can go to my place, my favorite place, and nobody can follow me and blah, blah, blah. But the fact is, right now, we all can get hit by this, and we're all affected by this. And the fact is that we've been spending too much time arguing with people over some bullshit.
Yeah.
So
For sure. I mean that is so well said, and such a strong sentiment. And the artists like you are the ones leading the way and bringing that to light and making a community out of it through songs, through conversations. And I agree. I think this time period, there's something that you can dig into with that. So that's a lot of truth right there. A lot of truth,
yeah,
and a lot of people were giving some hearts and thumbs up and love to that topic. So really appreciate your insight and your thoughtfulness with that.
yeah. I mean, and then again, I don't know if what I'm saying is right or whatever, but I'm just saying, well, I think we spent so much time and so much amount of energy worried about the wrong things, and now this has come up, and now this is in our face, and now it's like we're all these small businesses and stuff are being strangled, and it's just like our financial shit has become so powerful and a part of our identity instead of our soul and our spirit. And maybe that's what the universe is telling us, like as I'm watching these butterflies run around, and it's like, wow, just there's more to it, and we've been taken off the ball, we've been hoodwinked, and we've let ourselves be hoodwinked. It's not some mass conspiracy, but the closer we get to this is an amazing opportunity what's happening now, and the closer that like people take down their fists and realize, okay, well, what can I do out of it? you know I'm right next to the cliff. You know, I could be broke very soon. That's what it's set up, you know, but it's like that's not what is, you know, and nobody wants to be broke. I'm all for everybody making a living and providing for people, and even beyond that, taking care of other people. But you know, we put too much on it in our society. We're not even enjoying our family visits. We have to be put down for Thanksgiving to sit around the table and eat, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, again, so well said, really enlightening, and I'm sure there's a lot of people on here that are connecting with that, whether it's a nurse, a teacher, or someone just at home with their family. It means a lot. So it's really nice to hear you say that, man. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure everyone else does too. And to have your music along the way certainly helps too. You know, you practice what you preach.
Yeah. Somebody's saying Questlove recently mentioned a song you wrote for D'Angelo, but never got released.
I saw that. Yeah, I never heard it, but I saw the question is.
I don't know. I don't think maybe D'Angelo covered one of my songs. I didn't write a song specifically for D'Angelo, so I don't know. Are you sure about that, Mo? Um,
Hmm.
Questlove normally doesn't. He wouldn't tell me that, so I would have loved it. I love D'Angelo. He's one of my favorite artists. Uh, so if you get any more information, Mo, hit us up, maybe, or screenshot what Questlove was talking about.
Maybe we just came up with the idea. Maybe we just started the collaboration. Maybe we can make it happen.
Uh, I, in my biggest dreams, I would love to do a song with D, but I don't think that's gonna ever come into fruition. And not to be negative about it, it's just that I just respect him so much as an artist. I always have. I just, you know, like not just his music, but his musical ability, his arrangements, is also just ability to kind of be like really, really devoted to the craft, wait for the right moment to happen.
Yeah.
Sit in the studio for 3 years on somebody else's dime, and
There you go. Right on.
you know what I'm saying? It's just like
Yeah,
this is good, you know. And then the
that's
label
on.
knows it. Label knows they can't get rid of them because they don't have another one that just looks stupid. Yeah, it gets.
Love it. See, that's what can come out of these ideas. It's never a bad one. And I know we actually brought. I think he came up, and we were talking about some of our favorite artists offhand when he came up. And now that I think about it, we talked. His name came up, and we talked about our shared infatuation with John Lennon too. So it's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. Lennon was. I felt so bad when I saw Sean one time. I'd just been introduced, and I was just like, "Man, your father really meant a lot to me." And I was just like, you know, when you say something and you realize right when you're saying it, it's just the stupidest thing you can say. So that was really bad. Um, it's like, oh, I guess I he never heard that one before, right?
I guess I would have probably said the same thing. Although I was kind of a fun fact. I was born the same hour John Lennon died
Oh
in
God,
1980. So I don't know if he would be interested in
I
that.
don't think you would
First
like
thought
that one
better.
either. I think me and you probably have a 2-1-2
Yours is
punch,
yeah.
and then
Yours is probably one.
we would probably leave the room and start cursing. And, you know,
He was
like who's that asshole? Just said the same thing I hear every day, and then the other guy has the nerve to talk about the worst hour of his life.
there's probably very few things that would be good as a kind of a knee jerk reaction to seeing him, um, but that's funny. So I want to let you go. I really appreciate your time. I don't want to talk your ear off because I could. Man, I always enjoy our conversations. It's always enlightening. It always puts a unique perspective on music and art and just a way of living. So, man, thank you. Keep doing what you do, and
All right,
it inspires a lot of people,
I'm gonna
especially me.
know if there's any questions here.
Oh, you know what? Someone sent me one earlier. Someone sent me one before we got to talking, and it was about the third show that you played this past run of 3 shows where you're playing deep cuts
Yeah.
and unique tracks. We got a request for some of the songs that you played. What were some of them for those that couldn't attend? Because the set
Oh,
list wasn't printed
yeah.
online
There
anymore.
wasn't a set list like there. You know, I'm doing an acoustic album. A lot that was I'm doing like 4 different versions. Hopefully, if they're good enough. But the first version is done. A lot of those songs came from the unreleased Shotguns record that never came out years ago. And just it feels really fucking good. It feels like, wow, this is great. These recordings sound great. They're very sparse. They're very slow. There's no payoff. It's a lyrical payoff and an emotional payoff. So anybody waiting to hear another Bullet in the Target with some beats and all that, it's not there. But there is the real Cope. And so one of the records is called Shotguns. One's called The Gambler Theme. One's called Officer Friendly. Um, they're kind of like some murder ballads in there. There's a song called Family. It's like deep context, kind of like a father talking to his son, telling him why couldn't be part of his life. That's what family's about. And the son, so these themes aren't necessarily dark, are somewhat dark, and but they're beautiful. And I think I definitely want to put those out, and those are coming out.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. Are those the songs you played, were most of them some of them songs you played for live for the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got one more that was sent in that I think is kind of a good one. What else do you have on tap? What else do you have lined up in terms of any live streams or any other new episodes? We had Trevor Hall last week, and he was telling me that I know that the Red Rock show was with him, and that
Yeah.
hopefully it's going to happen in October. But what else can people look out for right now?
Red Rocks is not going to happen in October. They've been canceled for the whole year. So, um, I don't know. I mean, uh, so I'm just continuing. I got another thing on my birthday, a birthday show that I'm doing on May 20th and the 22nd and 23rd. Um, uh, and So I'm doing that. Alex is doing some shows coming in June. I started my own streaming service and ticketing company, so that's gonna all go through me independently. And then I got pretty much doing that. I'm gonna have some more guests on Coolin' with Cope in the wings. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Pierce Brosnan hopefully will be doing something. I'm gonna have just some people that are also working in the medical field. Like I'm having this amazing OBGYN who's been practicing for 20 years in New York City and from New York, um, and Isabel Blumberg, and she's actually doing kind of like she's, she's all this is going on, but she's delivering babies. So I kind of want to get perspective of what's going on with that and how, you know, uh, so it's just not just celebrities, but like people that are actually doing stuff. I've had some firemen and some nurses on and doing that and kind of just putting out the acoustic record. So we're gonna pretty soon do a pre-order for that, and that first version of the acoustic record is gonna come out.
Oh, that's great. That's a lot of cool stuff. You're
Yeah,
making the most of it. You're making it happen.
yeah. I mean, the whole thing is right now. It's you either innovate or, just like telling everybody right now. Don't wait for whatever is going to be happen. Don't wait for somebody to tell you they have a vaccine. It's just like figure it out, figure something out. Whether it's like I told my little cousin who's young, you know, it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to be online, but for school now, but go and start making something, and then start it out. Sell two things, three things, two, three. So it's like, you know, that's really kind of hit the door running, man. You know, because if we all come out together and be like, oh, everything's been uplifted, everything's done. Oh, where's the vaccine? It's like, nah, man, don't put your life in other people's hands. So just keep doing it, keep strong. It's gonna make all of it stronger because we need everybody individually to do some really cool shit right now. No matter what they're doing, man. But this can be really, really a great opportunity for everyone to come up with some new shit, and we can all learn some new shit from each other, and not be dictated what we do with our life. Whether it's like, I would love to see the coffee shops that we go to, and not see everybody on a coffee shop on the computer. You know, that shit is
Yeah,
annoying.
yeah,
It's like, fucking have some conversations. Let's figure some shit out here, even if we don't agree with it. But making our computer our life right now, that's done. You
yeah,
know, it's done. It's like, make your own fucking movie, make your own
yeah.
TV show. You know, we have all the tools. Make your own. You know, inspire your own people. Learn some philosophies that really come from yourself, like, and spread them. I want to learn shit.
Yeah.
If anybody got something, let me know.
I'll think of something.
All right.
Um, I agree, man. You gotta. This is the time to dig deep. If everyone does that, and you turn out to put your best self out there, it's gonna make everyone together better.
Because
So
everyone's woodshedding right now. Everyone got time to woodshed, do the dreams they want to do. You make the book you wanted to write. You want to do a screenplay. You want to write a poetry book. You want to learn how to make duck confit. Whatever it is that you haven't had a chance to do, the world is giving you this opportunity right now. And it's like a beautiful chance. And because it's meant for us to be like, oh man, it's gonna be really hard. It's like, now it's time to like get up, put up. If you wanted to go vegan, if you wanted to go learn how to hunt a boar, whatever it is, fix some six and fence post, or whatever it is that you want to do, uh, mend the old beefs you have with your family or friends, you know, reconnect with people, whatever it is. Like, but I'm talking too much, so I gotta say, Jeff, thank you. I'll say peace, love to you, and all the other stuff.
I appreciate it. I really do, man. And I said it when we started the conversation. You're the one who inspired me to do these types of things in the first place, and everything obviously you said today was just even more enlightening and inspiring. So much love to your family out there, and I look forward to the next time we get to see each other. Thank you everyone who engaged and who chimed in and who participated. I saw so many cool comments and so many thumbs up and people agreeing with and getting impacted by your words. So I hope it was helpful, and I really appreciate it. Jennifer Bell, Ern, Chief Jabali, Jake Beta, Rainbow Lily, all of these people. It was so awesome to see everyone to really get impacted by your words. So
And peace
thank you
to,
very much, Cope. I really appreciate it, man.
thank you guys. Peace to all the Brazilians out there, everybody out there that's on here. Um, you know, thanks for checking in. Jeff, amazing man. Thank you for doing what you're doing. It's always great talking to you. Thank you for being such a great journalist, man. Really, really preparing for the interviews, and doing what you and taking a shot, for the arts, building everybody up, because like that's one of the big things. A music journalist is part of somebody's musical journey. There's things that you guys can express and expose to other people that grows a life for an artist and its listeners. So I really appreciate what you do.
Thank you so much. That means a lot coming from you. I really appreciate you taking a moment to say that, because I try to treat it like an art form and a form of self-expression, and artists like you have